Welcome to the Let's Talk Data podcast series presented by SAP, where we explore game-changing technology and strategies with leading experts with the goal of maximizing the value of data across your organization. If you haven't done so already, please follow or subscribe to our podcast on your favorite channel to stay tuned in.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our SAP Let's Talk Data podcast. This one is on the value of automation in master data management. My name is Corrie Birkeness. I'm from SAP Product Marketing, and I'm going to be your host for today's podcast. I wanted to mention up front that there is a very detailed value study that serves as kind of the basis of much of the discussion that we're going to be having today. And just to note, if you want to kind of get deep into it, there is a link. You can find that in the description of this podcast. And then the other thing, additionally, really focused on not just the automation piece, but focused on the importance of master data quality. Really what we're saying here is that only high quality data that is trusted can reliably support automation in master data processes, not unlike the critical importance of trusted quality master data to support your business processes and that automation, as well as accurate analytics and your AI initiatives. So let me get started by introducing our speakers today, both with an enormous amount of experience in the field of data quality and master data management. So with us, we have Andreas Seifried. He is a solution manager for SAP Master Data Management. And then we also have Kai Hüner. He is a Chief Technology Officer at CDQ, which stands for Corporate Data Quality. So with that, I'll welcome the two of you.
Hi, Corrie.
Hi, Corrie. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and get right into the meat of it. So Kai, at CDQ, you often talk about trusted data as the highest level of data quality. So tell me about what goes into ensuring high quality business partner master data, as well as kind of why is it so essential in ensuring reliable and automated master data processes?
Yes, absolutely. So from our experience at CDQ, data quality is closely linked to trust. And trusted data is not just accuracy, it is also verified and compliant data. So businesses can just rely on it. And this trust comes from being able to trace the data back to its origin, right? So in this context, trusted sources could be, for example, tax authorities or national trade registers, and also a community of data sharing that follows clear and well-defined data quality processes. So that is why at CDQ, we focus on trusted data and on what we call data sharing to enable data quality for our customers. And by trusted data, we mean sourcing and enriching data from reliable sources. So data you can just trace back and trust. And with data sharing, we take this even a step further. Our customers contribute parts of their data to our data sharing community, which means creating a shared pool of high quality information. And in the white paper you mentioned about MDM automation, we highlight, for example, the success story of Covestro, which is a global leader in plastics manufacturing. And they use our services to validate bank accounts during the supplier onboarding. And with this trusted data, they can eliminate manual checks, reduce compliance risks, and at the end, they can save significant time and manual efforts.
Okay, awesome. That's great, Kai. So, Andreas, automated master data management. This is what we're working towards, right? But let's start with the question of what are the primary challenges and costs that are associated with managing master data manually?
Yeah, well, let's start with the costs and only the costs directly related to the master data process itself. Just think about the numerous tasks and the diverse roles participating in the creation process alone. It starts with a request that somebody has to review, includes manual validation, validation, of course, is typically supported by systems or maybe still sometimes with formulas and some spreadsheets. Yeah, somebody has to fix the fail data in that cases. And how do you call this? First time right, Kai? Isn't that a concept that you established? Depending on the criticality of the master data, for example, for a supplier for whom with whom you expect to do a lot of business, or a customer that you grant generous payment terms, a manual inspection and approval is involved as well. Specialists might add further information by looking up data, for example, in commercial registers, like Kai already said. And all these tasks is just for creating new business partners only. We have not yet covered changes or keeping the data once created up to date. So you see a lot of labor costs, manual steps that you could automate. But there are also indirect costs. Humans simply make mistake. They use data that they actually cannot trust. This leads to problems in multiple business processes, and this is where the issues actually surface. And this might happen long time after data has been created. This creates rework of the data, but more important, real-world problems in production, finance, or logistics. Just think about perishable goods kept in customs because of entering a wrong commodity code or tax information of the receiving customer. This can get really bad quite quickly. Yeah, but even if everything works out as expected, the process might take just too much time. As an example, to prevent fraud when paying your suppliers, the preventive measure is bank account validation. And if you still do this by paper that is sent around by snail mail, this can take easily 2 weeks. This slows down the process until business transactions can be completed. Costs, therefore, are not only the labor spent for MDM itself, but costs caused by delaying business.
Oh, really great examples, Andreas. Thank you. And I'd like to address this question to both of you. Kai, we'll start with you. But on the flip side to the challenge and cost question, it would be great if you could both give us some examples of the benefits of automation in master data management.
Yes, absolutely. So maybe I can start again with a success story from the white paper you mentioned. It's from a global engineering company, and they automated their supplier onboarding process using our trusted data services, which are integrated directly with SAP MDG as the automation tool in this example. This integration reduced the onboarding time from 50 minutes in the initial process, like Andreas described, to just 1 minute per record. And the automation also ensured compliance with tax and banking regulations, and at the end, saving them over 180,000 euros per year, right? And as Andreas said, this is only just the hard facts, so to say. So intangible benefits such as employee satisfaction comes then even on top.
Yeah, for example, growth. Yeah, I think automation is mandatory if you want to grow your business. I think we already said that creating master data is a repetitive, error-prone, and for many people, tedious job. Of course, there are those people that perform these tasks passionate. You can rely on them. They fix not only the data, but also the process when necessary, simply because they work reliably, they work thoroughly. But hand on heart, these people are getting fewer and fewer, and this blocks your growth. Sticking to manual processes simply does not scale. While your business grows, you need to spend more and more time on managing your data, and you need more and more skilled people that you need to find. Now, the question, how can you solve this? And the answer is automation, automation, automation. There's also that famous quote of George Westerman about digital transformation. I think it also fits to our topic of automation today. It goes like this. When digital transformation is done right, it's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. But when done wrong, all you have is a really fast caterpillar. So automation, automating master data management is not just about becoming faster and faster. Less errors and more trust in your data lays the foundation, in particular for those intangible benefits, or for example, for artificial intelligence.
Love it, love it. Any other examples?
Maybe regarding the intangible benefits I mentioned, You can also think about duplicate records, right? So, for example, if you're able to eliminate these duplicates, you can reduce storage and processing needs, which at the end also lowers the carbon footprint. So it's also has an impact not only on efficiency and hard facts in terms of euros or dollars, but also on sustainability goals of the companies, which is more and more important.
Nice, nice. And Kai, how does CDQ ensure quality reference data? I know you addressed it a bit in the beginning, but just focused on that question.
Yes, as I said already in the beginning, so we say quality at the end comes via trust or is closely linked to the trust. So we say the trust in the data comes from the data's origin, the data source. If it's known and if it's reliable, you can trust in the data. And that means that you can also rely on automating certain tasks. And the question is, of course, is the data you need always available from such trusted sources? And of course not, right? There are areas on the global scale which are not covered by authority data like tax registers or national trade registers. And you also have, beside legal entity data, other business partner information you need for ship tos, for bill tos, for example, so the level below the legal entities. And for that, the data sharing concept comes into the play, because when the companies maintain their data in their processes and they share this data, of course, on the foundation of a quality ensured governance, then you can also use this shared data as a trusted database, as a trusted source. So my point is, you can, on the one hand, rely on the trusted data sources, but also, if the processes and the governance is in place, on a data sharing community as a trusted source, which can then be the basis for automating your data processes.
This is where SAP and CDQ, we really work together, right? With SAP MDG and CDQ services, we can combine trusted reference data with out-of-the-box automation features. So Andreas, tell me more about the integration with CDQ within SAP Master Data Governance.
Sure. First of all, this integration is now available in SAP Master Data Governance Cloud Edition, but also in MDG on SAP S/4HANA in the recent version. And this integration offers a couple of features, or enables a couple of features. First, with the lookup and grade feature, users search for a company from within their MDG application, from within their environment, the application environment, in the trusted data provided by CDQ, like in the good old yellow pages. Once they found the company of interest, they can easily take that data for creating a new business partner without spending time keying in data, and also, maybe more important, without the possibility to make mistakes while typing. Second, this lookup is also possible for existing business partners, of course. This allows you to enrich your data with further information, for example, tax IDs. But last but not least, you can also let the system perform such tasks, such lookups in mass processes. And this could even happen without any user interaction. When the teams of SAP and CDQ work together, it was important for Kai and me, likewise, to make it as easy as possible to configure that integration. This has not only technical aspects for setting up the communication between MDG and the CDQ platform. Much more time consuming can actually be the value mapping, or rather the semantical mapping between the different values and their meaning. Here, CDQ does not only bring in the trusted data, but also their expertise in mapping. For example, can you imagine how many different legal forms there are in the world with a distinct meaning? That mapping provides you with a categorization of those legal forms that is useful and meaningful, in particular for risk management.
Thank you very much, Andreas. And for those of you millenniums out there that might not know what Yellow Pages are, that is a physical phone book that has business listings in it. So just in case. Um, Andreas, so we've focused mainly on data provider integration within master data management to support those automated processes. Could you share what are some of the additional features within SAP Master Data Governance that support automation within your master data management processes?
Yeah, just let me pick two maybe. First, there are derivation rules that you can use to calculate fields. Many times, a few discriminating factors determine many master data attributes that steer then in the end production, logistics, and finance processes. And with MDG, you can combine such rules into meaningful scenarios so that you can manage these rules together and apply them together. Second, there is rule mining in MDG. That's a feature that allows you to detect patterns in your existing master data, convert these patterns to rules, and apply these rules to further data that you create. And also recently, we enhanced MDG on S/4HANA with 2 AI use cases. One of those we call summary of changes. Here, artificial intelligence provided by Joule summarizes all the changes that are about to be applied to master data. And this helps maybe not so experienced people to do their job better.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much, Andreas and Kai, for sharing your thoughts and experience, as well as expanding on the collaboration between SAP and CDQ. Trust is certainly at the core of what we are doing together, and this joint solution really ensures enterprises can automate with confidence. So thank you everyone for listening to our SAP Let's Talk Data podcast discussing the value of automation and master data management. I encourage everyone listening to look at those additional resources. Again, that link to the full business value study from CDQ, again, available within the description of the podcast. And also, please comment and subscribe to this series to stay tuned for new episodes, as well as get caught up on the ones you might have missed. So thanks again, everyone, and be well.
We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Check out the show notes for additional links to information. And please subscribe or follow to join us on the next episode of Let's Talk Data presented by SAP.